gamut of topics from marketing and general management, be it educational reforms for vocal for local, make in India best practices, global to local, a way of transformation, self-reliant India, transforming India in the wake of global crisis, indigenous product versus local products versus locally produced products, opportunities for rural entrepreneurship. At the same time, in marketing, we have topics like advertising, local businesses, marketing an idea vocal for local, promoting MSME through digital marketing, rural marketing, social media for promoting local products. Can PR and communication help local brands to be self-reliant? With these gamut of topics, we are expecting that we will have a brainstorming, and I would take this opportunity that every instance nowadays, we can take our teachings from an epic called Mahabharata. And in Mahabharata, when there was a congruence of intellectuals, there were two characters who gave a definite direction to the whole Mahabharata and the era at that moment of time, the kings who were they were ruling at that moment of time. The first character I would term as Bhishma Pitama. Bhishma Pitama only is known for his knowledge, but he is also known for the wisdom. He study Gita, the way he has told every instance a huge round of applause. I would love to welcome Dr. Tushar Kantpani as the chairperson of Technical Session 1. Sir, in this particular scenario, I just take a few things that Sir has achieved in his life. His life has been an inspiration. I am watching him for the last 15 years. And whenever we do a conversation, he gives us such beautiful insight over marketing and the present local scenario that I'm mesmerized. Every time I meet with him is a knowledgeable session for me. Sir, you have been working as associate professor in the Department of Commerce, Ravenshaw University. You have done your PhD in business administration. You have a working experience of more than 30 years. And I would love to say that it includes a rich experience of corporate of 10 years where you have worked with MSMEs, where you have worked in social sectors. And that gives a beautiful insight. Whenever we talk with you, you give such a clear picture of this domain area. You have written different books on principle of business management, marketing management, medical tourism, stress management, destination marketing, vending zone business. A few accomplishments out of a lot of you have achieved in your life. ET Now National Education Leadership Award as the best professor of marketing at Tajland End, Mumbai on 16th February 2013. And the best cooperative writer award from Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Naveen Patnaik in 2012. His research area now includes service marketing, sales and distribution management, consumer behavior, retail business and management. He has been visiting esteemed colleges like XIMB for his deliberations and lectures. He has been a constant member of their academic team. And sir, we are really proud and privileged to have you as the chairperson of Technical Session 1. Sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, I talked about two characters, and the two characters, the first is Bhishma Pitama, then there is another character who is very dominant, who has a very different perspective and different mind. But I would say he was the epitome of knowledge and skill. He is none other than the Guru, Dronacharya. And for our Technical Session 1, we have our own Dronacharya, Mr. C. Chandrasekhar, who is an entrepreneur, who is a visionary who has been a wonderful person at first, and discussing any topic on him will give you a deep insight that what the current scenario is. Sir, you have a long history to tell about, but I think a few things which we find very interesting about you, that your everyday fight to make local companies, make companies who are of Odisha to work well, to have a name on a global frame or on a national frame. And that is one thing that we always cherish about you, your in-depth knowledge about every topic, especially technology. I think we all are mesmerized with it, and the vision you give us whenever we sit and talk with you, I think that is what we makes all of us spellbound about you. You, sir, he's currently, sir, is the managing director of Catalyst IT Solutions Private Limited. He has a number of clients starting from PSUs like NALCO, ITCO, OMC, NIL. He has developed an enterprise management software for verticals like Kirana ERP, in hospitality, Econo PMS, publishing, Econo PUB, internet distribution, as well as trade and manufacturing. It is also a process of starting another venture called B2C product. He is a member of Utkal Commerce and Industry, Utkal Chamber of Commerce and Industry, NASCOM, Confederation of IT Enterprise. At NASCOM, he is a member of NASCOM Odisha State Council as well as the NASCOM Odisha SME Council. He is actively helping to nurture the alumni network of his alma mater, Xavier Institute of Management, Bhubaneswar, and he is currently the Vice President of XIMB Alumni Association. He is passionate about mentoring new entrepreneurs, and I would say that the first interaction we had with Chandrasekhar sir was in a workshop on entrepreneurship. He has participated in various startup programs such as Google Tech Startups, Weekend Startup Weekends, alumni events, and a mentor, and have been a mentor and judge to all these events. So we welcome sir to this platform. We are sure that with your presence, you will add a lot of different facets of value to all these discussions. So welcome Chandrasekhar sir to technical session 1.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So as we have already started the process and we have introduced our chairperson and our resource person to all of you, I will just take a few minutes of yours to tell a few things about this particular session of today. In our inaugural session, we have some wonderful deliberations by our keynote speaker, by our chief guest, by our guest of eminence. And one thing that truly struck is, to be truly global, you need to be intensely local. And this particular statement actually set the tone for our technical sessions. We have companies like ITC, Dabur, doing a lot of advertisements to showcase their strength as a local company who has grown into a global platform, a global conglomerate. We have seen about how how Amul says that it has been the taste of India for years. And these particular companies having their own strategies and how they are showcasing or how they have become from a local company to a global conglomerate. This is the journey to reckon with. We will discuss all different facets, starting from policies, and how these companies have grown through. I right now will hand over this particular session to our chairperson, Dr. Tushar Kantpani sir. He will take over from now, and then once our presentation start today, just to inform all of the participants, we have 7 presenters for today. So once Tushar sir starts the session, he will tell you about how the process will be. Just a small informations regarding the rules and regulations for the participants who are presenting the paper. The paper presentation time limit would be 10 minutes. and there would be 5 minutes for question answer session. And it is our chairperson and resource person who would be asking you questions. So this is the process for our technical session one. Sir, now I hand over this session to you. Tushar, sir.
Thank you, Professor Sabyasachi. You told that both Bhisma and Drona will be in charge of this particular session. Bhisma and Drona both were in with the Kauravas, but this time we are with Pandavas. So when I say Pandavas, Pandavas means Asta School of Management. We are sitting for Asta School of Management.
Thank you very much.
With a very noble cause, better cause. And this time we will be discussing on a very, you can say, relevant topic that you have chosen, that is be vocal for local, the way ahead. This particular statement of our Prime Minister, that go vocal for local, is a very emotional appeal to people of India, I think. Very emotional appeal. In basically marketing, in process of communication in advertising, we use different appeals. This particular, I cannot call it a punchline or logo or nothing, but his appeal, particularly the statement itself, is a very emotional appeal for the Indian people. We all know that India produces so many engineers every year, so many management graduates, technical graduates every year. Recently, I had come across an article that India produces more number of engineers than the population of Sweden, more than the population of Italy, very number of European countries. We produces a very good number of managers, but still we sometimes say we are developing nation and we have so many crises. Our companies are not able to compete with the global leaders. But if you know, when our resources go abroad, when they go outside, they are doing miracle. They are doing wonders. Almost all big companies, top companies in the world, if you go through their human resources, you'll find many Indian people are doing that. When they are here, they are not doing that wonders, but when they are going outside, they are doing wonders. So probably there are some problem related to grooming them, or maybe our policies or practices were not proper. That's why our Prime Minister wants to give a platform, a conducive environment for the next generation, so that India can compete in global field and at the same time can produce products, services, ideas, concepts, all these at global standard. Never let a good crisis go waste. Don't think that COVID pandemic is a, you can say, crisis. It's not a crisis for India, it's a global crisis. So we should not let that global crisis to go waste. See, for example, these webinars that we are conducting. In our university for last 3 months, we have conducted more than 150 webinars where we have interacted people from all over the world. Earlier, it was very difficult to get people from USA, people from Russia, people from Denmark. They were not able to come, but now sitting at home, we are interacting. So this crisis has also given us lots of opportunities to think. So it's just an emotional appeal for the Indian people. At the same time, it's a time for self-introspection. We need to introspect ourselves. Where we are wrong and what we are going to do. We are always thinking of GDP, but now it's the time to think about sustainable economic development, think about the air, think about the water, think about the animal, think about the people and the lowest rung of the society. So we have to think a lot. So I think the right person who is sitting with us is Professor Chandrasekhar. He is the resource person. Obviously, I will say something at last. But let me just invite, or rather, I say, welcome, Professor. Uh, sorry, our resource person, honorable resource person, Sri Chandrasekhar ji, to give an introduction to the topic, or you can say so open, or you can say way to these topics. Then we'll have the time for the paper presenters, and at last we'll conclude. We'll go by this way. So now I request Sri Chandrasekhar sir to start.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you, Principal Ma'am, Sabyasachi, Bankim sir, basically for thinking of, me as capable of being a resource person to a event of such a high caliber as this. In fact, I had a chance to go through some of the papers, just glance through some of the abstracts of the papers, and I must say I'm very impressed. And I'm sure activities like this will definitely bring about a lot of good to our society in general. As Professor Sabyasachi mentioned, this is a topic that is very, very close to my heart for a very long time. Vocal for local. Basically, this is because from what I have seen, from what I read, I can understand what can happen in the future if we do not encourage entrepreneurship, if we do not encourage small business. I've spoken at length, I think, with Professor Sabyasachi also on this topic a number of times. But having said that, this situation that we face today, the COVID-19 pandemic that has come, there are various ways to describe this. One way of saying is it is a black swan event. It is something that none of us could have ever predicted when we greeted 2020 with such enthusiasm on January 1st. Nobody could have imagined that something like this could devastate the entire world, not just an area. We've had floods, we've had tsunamis, we've had cyclones, but they were all affecting a small area of the world. This is something that has affected the entire world at the same time. This has obviously brought about a lot of behavioral changes, things that you and I would never imagine we are doing now. We would never have imagined that we would all be roaming around with masks on our face. Just imagine. Yeah, it just comes to my mind, the session in Parliament before this one. I still remember the Vice President, Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, admonishing Derek O'Brien for wearing a mask and saying, if you wear a mask, get out of the Parliament. Right? Today, he is wearing a mask. That is the change that has come about us. Behavioral changes that we could never have imagined. Shaking of hands has become a taboo. Right? Small things. So these are things that all across the world people are facing. But yes, exactly as Dr. Tushar pointed out, everything, you have two aspects. If there is bad, there is also good. In fact, my son is now a student at XIMB, right? So he joined 30 years after I left, right? So, so many things that I enjoyed on campus initially, he is missing out. He's sitting at home in his room and he's attending classes. So he is missing out on such a lot. But yes, we used to have guest lectures maybe once a month if we were lucky. He has already attended webinars, maybe 30, 40 webinars of people sitting across the world, leaders, global leaders, sitting across the world. He has been able to interact with them, something that I did not experience both in the 2 years that I was there. and he still got such a long way to go, right? Case study competitions. Company case studies which were not coming to XIMB, now they are also coming, because now it is just a click of a button and you're on screen and you're there. For example, the Godrej Loud competition, they did not come to XIMB last year. This year they've come because now there is no physical movement. One of the disadvantages that we as a top tier institute faced was in terms of communications. Bhubaneswar, coming to Bhubaneswar from Mumbai was a pain. Like if they had to conduct, if the company wants to, come for placement, they had to spend 3 days, 1 day to come, 1 day to conduct the interviews, etc., and 1 day to go. 3 days were wasted. Now everything, there is no transport required. They sit in their offices and they can conduct their interviews here. So yes, there is both positive and negative for anything. And COVID, as a paradigm shift, yes, we have to face up to it. And what can I say? I mean, I will say that Zoomification, as we are doing right now on Zoom, that can bring about a huge benefit in all aspects, be it education, be it business, be it relationships, anything. Because now, as a new normal, we have accepted this form of communication. We don't find it funny, or we don't find it odd, or we don't find it unnatural. Now, this is the new normal. Local businesses, yes, COVID has affected them in a number of ways. Initially, because of the lockdowns, local businesses were very badly affected. But when the effects of the lockdown were being faced by the population, it is the same local businesses that helped us survive. When I wanted to buy my dal or rice or whatever, I couldn't order on Amazon because there was no delivery. The entire supply chain was disrupted. But yes, my local grocer was able to supply me with my needs. And that, hopefully, we should never forget. Why should we not forget? Because post-COVID, post the economic upheaval that is taking place, they are in for trouble. You might have read about it in terms of how economists are predicting what will happen post-COVID. In terms of the recovery, U-shaped recovery, V-shaped recovery. One of the most likely options is something known as the K-shaped recovery. What is the K-shaped recovery? The K-shaped recovery is where a certain group of businesses will grow and a certain group of businesses will decline. The group of businesses that will grow are the ones that are big, which have a lot of funding. Say, for example, the way Reliance is growing now, or the way Adanis are growing now. Because now with their resources, they're able to gobble up other companies, they're able to take up other PA, and they will grow at a rapid rate. But there will be a large number of businesses who will be on a downward slope. This is something that was actually happening maybe even a couple of years ago, but it was not being recognized. For example, when we calculate the GDP, when we're looking at the GDP growth, we're looking at a single line. It is not a single line. It is not an average of everything. If we look at it properly, we will see it is 2 or maybe even 3 lines with 3 different trajectories. Now, we need not worry about the big businesses because they will grow. They have the resources, they have the power, they will grow. It is the small businesses and the medium businesses which need our support, and which is why move like this, vocal for global, is so necessary today. It is not just a question of the survival of the businesses themselves, it is for our survival also. Because invariably, when certain businesses become very powerful, they will have a negative effect on the rest of the economy, because the growth inequality will become too much. So I would like to take more time on this. I can go on for us on this, but basically I would say that we need to work together. We need to keep our eyes and ears open. We need to look at this situation as an opportunity. Whatever we get, whatever resources we can get, whatever help we can get, how by working together, we need to ensure that small businesses and local businesses grow and prosper. Sometimes it may mean paying a little more. You can get it on Amazon for say 50,000 rupees, you might have to pay 52,000 rupees here. But by paying that 2,000 rupees, maybe we will help that shop stay open. Again, it's something that has to be done on a large scale basis, and it's something that we need to keep thinking about, and which is why something like this is so welcome. Seminar or presentation papers, because minds, good, evolved minds are thinking about this, and we are trying to come up with solutions. And this is basically the need of the hour. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Giving a right insight to the topic for discussion. So we have with us seven paper, and at the same time 7 paper readers are, I think, there. So right, Professor Sabyasachi have already told that we will have
Sir.
10 minutes time for presentation.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. You can go up to 12 minutes, and we will be asking questions for 2 to 3 minutes. Okay.
True, sir.
So
sir,
let me just
be doing the timekeeping, sir. I shall be doing the timekeeping. So once it is 9 to 10 minutes, I will give a. I can tell the participant that he need to wrap up in the coming 2 minutes.
Let me just check out all the paper readers are there. Paper presenter, all are there, or anybody is missing. Ajit Kumar Das is there. Is there? So, Mr. please
yes.
Check.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm Lipika, sir. I'm here.
You are there. Lipika Mandal is there. Oshin Ansari.
Yes, sir.
Is there. Swagatika Mahapatra.
Yes, sir. I'm there.
Yes, very good. Bibhu Prasad Mishra. Am I audible? Bibhu Prasad Mishra.
Sir, he is joining. He is some network issue. He is joining in again 2 minutes. Please there.
All are there. All are there. So we can start with Lipika Bala Mandal. He has taken a very good topic: opportunities in rural entrepreneurship. So let us start with the first paper presenter, Lipika Bala Mandal. You can start.
Thank you, sir. But I have my co-author with me, Ajit Kumar Das, and he will present the first part. Then I will discuss the second part.
Both of you present. No.
Ajit, you may start now. Ajit?
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, very much.
Good afternoon, one and every. Good afternoon, one and all. I am Ajit Kumar Das, research scholar, Baleshwar. Can I share my screen, sir?
Yes, Ajit, do you want that we should share your PPT, or you want to share your own PPT? He can, Assessor, he can do screen share.
Sir, please from your side you share the PPT, sir.
Okay. Ajit Kumar. Sir, just a minute, sir. Lipika and Ajit, is it visible to all of you?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible.
Yes.
Good afternoon, one and all. I am Ajit Kumar Das, research scholar, Fakir Mohun University, Baleshwar. Today, my topic is opportunities in rural entrepreneurship. Rural entrepreneurship is defined in a broader sense as the enthusiastic willingness of villagers to organize his or her economic activity, whatever it may be, a business, a job, an investment, with the help of appropriate technology and practices, convinced for a sustainable living. Rural entrepreneurship has an important role to play in the development of Indian economy, taking into account that fact that nearly about 70% the Indian population calls rural India. So rural India as compared to the mainstream population of India. Uh, Even today, India lives in villages. In the era of globalization, entrepreneurship development in the rural context challenge is a challenge. People in rural areas are suffering with unemployment, poor infrastructure facilities, which may be solved with the development of rural entrepreneurship. Next slide, please, sir.
Next slide.
This is our objective to study the issue and challenges faced in the growth of rural entrepreneurs. Second one is to study the opportunities for rural entrepreneurs. Next slide, please, sir. This is our this is the problems faced by the rural entrepreneurs in the village area. One is scarcity of funds. If we discuss briefly about the points, whatever we have mentioned in our slide, the scarcity of funds, that means creating fund is the biggest issue for rural entrepreneurs. Most of them are fails to avail the funds due to the absence of tangible security and credit in the market. Sometimes also there is delay from the bank to sanction the funds to the rural entrepreneurs. This is also create some uh, this is also create very uh, unsatisfactory results to create a to create a rural entrepreneurship in the village area. Lack of infrastructure facility. This is also another issue in case of rural entrepreneurship. The rural entrepreneurs, those who are uh, interested to start to do something in village area, rural area, the lack of structural opportunity also create a big problem for them. Like in village area, they don't have proper road connectivity, no proper lighting, no proper uh, not proper electric facility. This is also at that time. This is also create a big problem for them. Lack of technical knowledge. Lack of technical knowledge, they don't have technical knowledge in uh, it means uh, one is IT knowledge, information technology. They don't have proper uh, IT information technology knowledge, so they can start like something uh, technical knowledge, lack of technical knowledge. That means IT knowledge and to technical persons to do to run the machines or the equipments very well. Intermediary. In intermediary, middlemen exploit the rural entrepreneurs. The entrepreneurs are fully dependent on middlemen and intermediary for making of their products, who pockets large amount of profits. Another point is competition. Sir, my slide is not visible. Competition. Rural entrepreneurs are faced competitions from large size companies and urban entrepreneurs. Due to those competitions, the rural entrepreneurs suffer a lot. Earning profit is more difficult for them. This is also a big challenge. Legal formalities. In the case of legal formalities, they are also not very aware of them, and they don't know completely about the government rules and policies and the trade licensing policies also. There are many formalities they have to obtain but they are not aware about because they are of illiteracy and ignorance about the government schemes and programs. Low quality product. Low quality product. This is also a big problem. Like due to the inferior quality of products produced only because of unavailability of standard tools and equipment and poor quality of raw materials. This is also create a problem for them because of the technical knowledge and lack of skilled manpower. Procurement of raw material. Procurement of raw material is really a tough task for rural entrepreneurs. They may end up with poor quality raw materials, may also face the problem of storage and warehousing. In the rural areas, those entrepreneurs don't have the proper storage or warehousing facilities. They also face a problem. There are goods and products uh, maybe damages or due to some other problems, external problems, they may deteriorate their quality also. And less risk bearing, less risk bearing less risk bearing capacity reaching rural customers. Nowadays, it is a very big problem to find the skilled labor. Sorry, my point is uh, less bearing capacity. Rural entrepreneurs have less bearing capacity, less risk bearing capacity because of lack of financial resources and the external support. My rest part of the presentation will be presented by Deepika. Deepika, hello.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Ajit. A very good afternoon to our esteemed resource person and my co-participants. I am Lipika Vada Mandal from Balashore FM University, and I am an MPhil research scholar from this university. So the problems and the issues has explained by my co-authors, and the main theme, the main topic is what are the opportunities, what are the opportunities. By the help of opportunities a rural entrepreneur can grow up. So the first point is support and motivation to local people. We have seen that in rural entrepreneurs have lots of support from local people, and their local people also encouraging them and also helping them for the implementation or the establishment of their small enterprises, and government also encourages them for more initiatives. Low establishment cost is that with compared to urban entrepreneurs, rural entrepreneurs have the business establishment cost is very low. There is no need to construct or facilities huge infrastructures and buildings like urban entrepreneurs. Availability of laborers. We have seen that in India, 70% of the population are living in villages. Majority of rural people are depending on agriculture. The agriculture work is not available throughout the year because there are some seasonal cultivation, but during the season they get the work from their agriculture part, but rest of the season they are like they are unemployed and they are unable to arrange their daily livelihood. So for that reason the rural entrepreneur have the competitive advantage, and they have the more manpower availability of more manpower in the rural areas. They may get the semi skilled or medium skilled labor. Government policies and subsidiaries. The government of India is continuously monitoring and introducing the new policies for encouraging the rural entrepreneurs. These policies are very flexible, very innovative, very liberalized, and giving continued support to rural entrepreneurs. At the same time, the government has also announced huge subsidies for promoting the rural entrepreneurs. And we have seen that availability of raw material. Most of the time, the rural entrepreneurs are depending upon the farm-based products as their raw materials, which are available throughout the year. These raw materials are available in the rural area, and that is the reason there is no transportation cost, or if there is any transportation cost, then this is very minimal amount. Also, in village areas, there are a lot of space to storage
Just to
the
inform
raw material.
Lipika, you have 2 more minutes to wind up the presentation. Okay.
Okay, okay, sir.
Finish with it. Come to
So,
your conclusion.
optimum utilization of
Lipika,
okay,
come to
sir.
your conclusion.
The opportunity. Yes, sir. There are some initiatives taken by the government like Khadi Village and Industries Commission and technology centers. It was earlier known as Tool Room and Technical Development. There is Coir Board and the National Small Industries, Mahatma Gandhi Institute of for Rural Entrepreneurs. And the recent initiatives are Udyog Aadhar Memorandum, Framework for Revival Rehabilitation, MSME Data Bank, My MSME, and there are so many initiatives taken by the government. Coming to the findings of our topic, after the study we have found that the rural entrepreneurs are certainly act as a key figure in the economic progress of India. They play a vital role in converting developing country into developed nation. In today's global market, a country's economy, policy, environment must be always be favorable for the organization to achieve efficiency. And we have also seen that there are lots of initiatives taken by the government of India. Also, our esteemed finance minister has announced so many policies for this Atmanirbhar Abhiyan. And throughout this, there are also lot of we have found that lot of schemes, lot of policies are, and the government also promoting those policies, as we have mentioned in our article. And there are few suggestions for this is more special training program must be provided, must be arranged for the rural entrepreneurs. Sufficient finance must be given to rural entrepreneurs, and a more adequate infrastructure must be provided by the government. And industrial cooperative must be set up for the line of primary agricultural, basically agricultural setup. And finally, I conclude our topic as that rural entrepreneurs are certainly act like as the progressive sector, more it may contribute more to the economic growth. And entrepreneurial activities has have enhanced the rural areas with the passage of time. Still it is far less as as prepared as proportion to urban areas. And latest survey depict that 51% micro, small, medium enterprises are owned by the rural entrepreneurs. And also our finance minister also revised that micro units, MSME will now called as micro units, and their investment up to 1 lakh crore and turnover is less than 5 crore. This is for micro unit. Previously, it was about 10 lakh to 10 lakh for service and 25 lakh for manufacturing. Small units, for small units, it is raised up to 5 crore to 10 crore. And for medium, it is up to 20 crore turnover, less than the 100 crore will be now called the medium units.
I
Thank
think
you,
time
sir.
up.
That's all.
Thank you.
Presentation. Thank you, sir.
Oh, yes. So, Chandrasekhar sir, you have any question for Lipika Mondal?
I Lipika. Hi, Ajit.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good
Good
afternoon, sir.
afternoon. Good afternoon. It's a very nice paper that you've presented, and it's a very interesting topic also.
Yes, sir.
What made you choose this? Why did you choose this particular topic?
Sir, when we see that this is our beyond imagination, this the pandemic situation. By looking after this pandemic situation, we chose this topic because in this is the we think in the youth it is the very key point that we can lead our we can give our effort for the economic development because we have opportunity with them. So that's but we are very new to this situation, sir. We are just MPhil students, and this is our beginning, sir. And if there is any fault, do pardon us, sir.
It's
Yes,
not a question of pardoning.
that's why we have.
No, no, it's not a question, as Dr. Ani says, it's not a question of pardoning or whatever, but you have made a very interesting start. Uh, Tell me something.
Thank you, sir.
What do you think, basically the rural youth, when they don't get a job, what do they do?
Sir, the thing is that first and foremost, I want to say that their own effort. They have to put their own effort because government has launched lot of schemes, but sometimes they are ignoring it, and sometimes they are lack of interest. But government has initiated so many things like they have government has already established a training center for the development of the entrepreneurial system. Also, there is a tool room and technical development sector. This is a technology sector which, sir, provide 2 lakh unemployed youth, providing training for 2 lakh unemployed youth and industry workforce per year. Sir, but we have to, government is also promoting, but we have to take small initiative to know about these initiatives.
Okay. So, Lipika, I would like to ask a very small question to you. You have chosen a very right topic on rural
Yes, sir.
entrepreneurs. Acha, you are talking, being MPhil student,
Yes,
both of you
sir.
are doing MPhil. Why didn't you select a particular
Yes,
sector?
sir.
You say within rural sector, first you showed the photograph of a, I think, a
Yes, sir.
handloom. Why you didn't select handloom,
Yes, sir.
or you can say handicraft, or any MSME, or any particular uh, group of industries or institutions or enterprises? That would have been much better. It is just a general topic. And if you talk of
Yes, sir. Yes,
problems,
sir.
these are the problems everybody know. Being a student of MPhil university, I will request of
Yes,
all of
sir.
you, please do a sector-wise study. You ask, prepare a questionnaire,
Yes, sir.
ask to the real people. For example, you say there is no funding. It's a general statement.
Yes,
But
sir.
at the
Yes,
same time, we have there's plenty of there is flow of money towards rural sectors.
yes, sir.
Whether the people are aware about those financial sanctions or not, schemes or not. You said
Yes,
there is
sir.
no training program, but every year we conduct so many training programs in Institute of Cooperative Management for handloom sectors, handicraft sectors. So many training programs are there. There are so many government plan policies there.
Yes,
Whether
sir.
reaching to them, whether they are aware about them, whether they are aware about the financial schemes. Why
Yes,
don't
sir.
you conduct a study like that? That will be a much better study. But anyway, you have done a very nice attempt. So I hope being a student of
Thank you,
MP,
sir, for
yeah,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, nicely suggested by you, and I am accepting this. And in further study, I will put emphasis on that particular, sir.
thank you.
But we are,
Being a
as I
teacher,
said, we are beginners, sir.
uh,
We are not much.
being a
Yes, sir.
teacher, that is my advice to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But as far as seminar paper is quite okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
So
much, sir.
the next paper presenter will be Ashin Anshari. India's COVID-19 stimulus package, that is Self-Reliant India, a critical analysis. So since a critical analysis, let us start from Anshari what critical analysis he has made. Let's see. Over to Oshin Anshari.
Oshin, Oshin,
Is it
so 1 minute.
there? Or Dr. H.K. Agarwal also, they both joint paper. Dr. Agarwal or Oshin Ansari, anyone can present.
Sir, Oshin sir is present. I think
Not audible?
he's not able to hear. Sir, we are connecting him. Just a minute, sir.
Unless we can try for the third presenter.
So we have,
Should we go to third presenter?
sir, we have sent her a message. Just we'll wait for 30 seconds. If not, we'll move to the next presentation. Swagatika is present.
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Okay, so we'll wait for Oshin. If Oshin comes in 30 seconds, she will give the presentation, or we will move to Swagatika.
I think she came.
Thank you. କେତେ ନମ୍ବରଟା
I request, yes, please mute. Okay, sir, we can start with Swagatika. We are connecting to Oshin. So if Oshin comes back, we'll have the third presentation.
Okay, thank
Swagatika Mahapatra.
you. Swagatika Mahapatra, she's there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Okay, Swagatika, your topic for presentation is Make in India and the role of export business.
Yes,
A
sir.
study of Odisha seafood export.
Yes, sir. First of all, good afternoon, one and all present over here. Swagatika Mahapatra this side. I am a second year BBA student at BJB Autonomous College. First of all, congratulations to Asta School of Management for organizing a national seminar online mode. It's a very good platform to showcase their work for students like us. It's my privilege to be here, to be a part of this virtual seminar, Be Vocal for the Local. So let's move on to the presentation. I'm presenting. Sir, it's restricting on my phone to present. Can you present my slide?
Yes, definitely, Swagatika.
Thank you, sir. So
Swagatika,
today
is it visible?
yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay.
Today I'm presenting on the topic Make in India and the role of export business, a case study of Odisha's seafood export. Basically, this research paper is prepared by me, Swagatika Mahapatra, and my co-author, Mr. Bishwa Prakash Jaina, PhD research scholar at BGU Bhubaneswar. So please move on to the next slide, sir. So yes, Make in India, which was more than an inspiring slogan, which was launched by Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi in September 2014. It's a wider set of nation-building initiatives that aims to transform India into global design and manufacturing hub. When India was on the brink of severe economic failure, the Make in India was a big push for India's innumerable stakeholders and investors for inviting potential investors around the world. And its aim to increase our indigenous manufacturing to more than 25% in coming years. And as per the World Bank, the manufacturing contributes 16% to the country's GDP till now. And our indigenous manufacturing also has increased by 12 to 14%. Now the world's largest democracy is in the way to becoming the world's most powerful economy. Coming to the export business and its importance, As we all know, the Make in India slightly boosted the Indian economy. So the Indian export market tend to emerge across the globe to expand their potential market. In macroeconomic terms, India's total exported good represent 2.9% of its overall GDP for 2019 compared to 3.1% in 2018. The following are the top exports of India, like mineral fuels, gems, pharmaceuticals, clothes and accessories, then electrical machinery, etc. So please move on to the next slide. So we are doing a case study on Odisha seafood export. So please have a glimpse of that. Odisha is an important coastal state of India having vast potential for development of fisheries and aquaculture. Seafood has emerged as one of the farthest growing important exporting segment of the exports of Odisha. The present production of the state from all the sources is about 6,84,963 metric ton with an annual growth of 15%. Steps are being taken by the government for the infrastructure such as provision of dedicated electricity feeder, road connectivity to aqua clusters, promotion of exportable species and establishment of brood multiplication center. Odisha is targeting to achieve seafood export of 20,000 crore from the present level of 2,000 crore annually. So please move on to the next slide. So analysis, coming to the analysis. Here we have done some significance of human resource that directly can affect the trade inclination. First, the management experience, and second is the board duty. Coming to the management experience follows sound judgment that directors and farm leaders with worldwide business experience that are more probable to participate in and effectively seek after and resolve to send out exercise for overall growth of the farm. And the board duty of the responsibilities and duties alludes of the company's manner towards sending out the duties and responsibilities also includes encouraging and promoting the sincerest investment of the best effort of the directors, providing elegant and swift resolution. As we all know, the management and the board duty in any organization play a key role in the growth of the organization, whether it comes to training or development or research or any kind of strategy making. So it will incline the growth of the organization. So moving to the next slide. Research method. For the case analysis, we enlisted two fish farms, which is inside the satisfactory range for the phenomenological studies. For simplicity of reference and furthermore to ensure the privacy, the organizations are named as A and B. The first organization is Odisha Aqua Traders and Marine Exporters Private Limited, named as A. And the second organization is Magnum Seafood Limited, which is named as B. So coming to Odisha Aqua Traders and Marine Exporters, which was incorporated on 15th May 2012, they are trading various flavors of prawn in different sizes and packed to different nations. The significant species are dark tiger prawn and Vanami prawn. The exports have been ranged to Japan, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, and so forth. Coming to the Magnum Seafood Limited, based out of Bhubaneswar, it exports to US, Canada, North America, Japan. The product offering is comprises of fishery items along with tiger prawns, shrimps, and other inland fishes. The organization has a limit of cycle of 4,000 tons with relating cold stock piling capacity. Moving on to the next slide. Results. We suggested that the level of experience of managerial staff has a positive influence on the firm's export propensity, as discussed in the previous slide. So we have two tables. In this slide, I have recorded table 1. In the next slide, we have recorded the table 2. For the table 1, it's for the findings for managerial experience of organization A and B. So the first point is the value. Here we have collected some points. Basing on that, we have taken some degree of measurement like strong support, medium support, and no comments. For the first analysis, we have taken the value of human resource in the form of managerial experience to the success of the seafood farm. Here for organization A, we have strong support for this, and for organization B also we have strong support. For the second metric, the importance of years of industry experience of managerial staff. Yes, for both the organization we have strong support. The challenge of attracting and retaining new senior managers to the industry. For organization 1, we have no comments, and for organization 2, it is strongly supported, because in the Magnum food seafood export, there are representatives less than 100. So by attracting and retaining new senior managers can lead to the increase of the manufacturing production. So moving on to the next slide. So in the table 2, the findings for managerial commitment towards A and B are listed. There are 4 managerial commitments related to each of the company, and we have surveyed that in most of the cases we have found strong support for organization B, that is the Magnum Seafood. So the first metric was the importance of human resource in the form of managerial commitment to export activities. As I told earlier that we have strong support for both the organization, then management to commitment to export activities, medium support for organization A, and strong support for organization B. Third is the commitment to change of company's culture. For organization A, I have no comments, and for organization B, it's strongly supported. Commitment of capital to develop human resources. For organization A, it's strongly supported, and for organization B, it's mediumly supported. So since we have strong support for maximum cases in B, the business will grow in future as it is doing now. And for A, in the majority criteria, we have strong support. In 2 cases, we have no comments, and in 1 cases, we have medium support. Here we can also analyze that 50% of matrices reveal that we have strong support. So we can analyze that the business will grow. So moving on to the next slide. Here we arrive at the conclusion that exporting has become a means for improving the farm's financial and competitive performance, as well as a necessity for seafood farms operating in saturated domestic market. Therefore, a contribution that is viable, export-oriented seafood industry can make to Odisha economy through increased employment and other flow-on effects from export would be significant. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you. Swagatika, I have a small question for you.
Yes, sir.
You have basically done your study on human resource management areas, okay?
Yes, sir.
Make in India and the role of export business, okay? In that 2 companies, so can you just highlight some marketing problems? What do they face in basically seafood export sectors?
Marketing problems that they are facing.
Yes.
First of all, if we come to the Odisha Aqua Traders and Marine Exporters, it is the registered company is at Cuttack, and marketing, they are exporting to Japan, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, and to various countries. So the marketing problems is like they are not highlighted to public in rural as well as urban areas. If they do an advertisement or media basis, if they can highlight what are the products, what are the benefits in a simplistic manner like Falcon does, so the marketing can be improved. The sale also.
You have not made a study on that area. Okay, so Chandrasekhar sir will have any question for you? For her?
Thank you, sir. Hi, Swagatika.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Very confident lady. Run through the presentation very nicely.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now, it's more in terms of a few suggestions, if I may. One is, the topic of your paper is the role of, export, right?
Yes, sir.
in the growth of seafood industry, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Now, from what I could see, you have focused entirely on managerial ability as being, having a direct correlation with growth, and you have not taken any other factor, right?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, you are a BBA student, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in addition to HR, you study so many other things. You have marketing, you have got operations, you've got systems, so many other as finance, so many other things are there. So, do you think the entire growth of a company can be limited just to HR? I mean, the capability of managers.
No, sir, not entirely, but partially it can be.
Okay, so
Because
maybe then the topic of the title of your project may be suitably modified. That role of HR. Do you
yes, sir,
think that makes
somehow.
sense?
Yes, sir,
Yeah, because
somehow.
you're not touching upon anything else, right?
Yes,
Number
sir.
one. The second thing that I would like, just as a is see the thing is whenever we conduct a study, we have a hypothesis, and we look at either proving or disproving the hypothesis. I think you followed something like that only, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, for example, the slide that is there, findings for managerial commitment A and B. You said that both are strong. For
Yes,
point
sir.
one, importance of human resources. Okay. Now, this strong or medium is how have you arrived at that?
Sorry, sir.
How did you arrive at that? Whether something is strong or medium or you know?
Like, sir, the information in
Mhm.
the Odisha Aqua Magnum
Call it A,
Seafood
no?
Limited and
I
Odisha
think you
Aqua
said the
Traders
A and
Marine
B.
Exporters. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
A and B. Let's take.
So A. So for A, how did you say that the managerial commitment is strong? I mean, on what
Yes,
basis did you say it is strong?
sir. Actually, it was incorporated in 1987 for A, and for B, it was incorporated in 2012. For that long run, it has to be that commitment of managers because, as you say, I have only focused on the managerial part.
Okay, so
So
you're saying because it is an older company, it is strong, managerial commitment. I mean, that
yes, sir,
is
that
how you
should
have
be
gone
strong.
about your.
Not only this criteria, sir, because they have so much of representatives, like more than 100 representatives are working on Odisha Aqua Traders, that the A, and the Magnum Seafood, they have almost 90 or more than that. So the second thing is also for being the responsible, sustainability of the responsibility also matters for that good growth of the organization. If the employees are sustaining for a longer time, it means it must be a very good organization. With
Okay,
that
so that is
perspective
your
also.
assumption that you have taken.
Yes, sir.
Okay, see, basically, as a learning experience, maybe you should highlight what are your assumptions and what are facts. Okay, just
Yes, sir.
because.
Surely in the next
So
session, we'll surely consider your feedback, sir.
okay. Uh,
Swagatika, Swagatika, being a student of BBA, you have done a very good presentation. Even at the
Oh,
level of
thank you, sir.
organization, MPL, they are not doing. But I will have a very small suggestion for you.
Yes, sir, please.
Suggestion, for example, you have only taken one or two parameters. Gradually, you learn how to conduct research.
Yes, sir.
I
It's
think
my first
you,
presentation,
ah,
so I was very nervous.
very good. But you have your with you Vishwa Prakash Jana. He's not there, na?
Yes, sir.
Not sitting
No,
with
no,
you.
sir. He's not there.
He's a PhD scholar. He's not sitting with you. You have to, अच्छा. ठीक है. Do you have any suggestion for the company regarding culture of the company? Do you have any
So,
suggestion?
sir,
You
they
have
should
your own
have
findings.
separate departments like
Suggestion.
research and development. They don't have any research and development and training because it's a seafood. It's not that
Achha,
needed also.
I will suggest you before writing papers, please, if you are taking the name of certain companies, please go and make a primary study. future. Okay, thank you very much. But you have given a very nice presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We'll move to the third regarding Ansari.
Sir, just to inform you, Ocean is having a network issue. So, Ocean, are you able to hear us right now? Ocean? No, sir. So, I think she is having a network issue. So, we'll
Next,
move to the fourth one.
next, Bibhu Prasad Mishra.
Sir, just to inform you, sir, due to this network issues, what we have told a few participants who think that they will have a network issue, they can have a video of their presentation. And one of Professor Bibhu Prasad Mishra, he has given his video of the presentation and he is present. Bibhu sir, are you present here? I say he will be present, sir. So we can run his presentation, and if he will be available for answers, sir. If with your permission, sir.
Yes, ready.
So I request the technical team to start the presentation of Bibhu Prasad Mishra.
Good afternoon, respected judges, the careers, chairperson of this technical session, Dr. Tushar Kampani, resource person, C. Chandrasekhar, Managing Director, Catalyst, Dr. Professor Research Pradhan of this technical session, myself, Prashant Mishra, Assistant Professor in IT and System, Artificial Information, like to give my presentations on my given topic, that is role and impact of digital marketing or MSC. So, in this topic, let me discuss what is digital marketing, what is MSME, and what is its impact. First of all, I like to say digital marketing. In a digital marketing, the term digital means, if in ordinary sense, the data should be converted to the digital format or from analog to digital or in coding format or a sequence format or any computer generated format, then we can say as digital. Digital means in forms of alphanumeric numbers or structures which are encoded to form a new structure. If this type of structure or coding or syntax are used in the marketing, that is in ordinary sense, we can say as digital marketing. So, let me have discussed the objectives of the study or the objectives of the digital marketing. To collect information of business, establishment, advertisement, MSME, which includes details of establishments, contact person, contact number, number of business, services, etc. That means, here from a database, we should identify or filter its unique code like a Aadhaar number, like a phone number, like any address. That definitely have some unique address or a unique identification task. Secondly, to identify prospective customers for yellow pages and digital marketing. Suppose here in the yellow pages, government what will do? Have a collection of the entire database of all the peoples, all the marketing structure, all the brand, whatever. Suppose today we search a particular company for the marketing. If the company having a rank path or the successful rate is more tough, it should not be found in the first page of the Google or in any search engine. That follow a normal term that is set to page ranking. The number of users involved in the company that is set to the page ranking, which is adopted in the yellow pages or in other structures. The number three objectives is to find out the existing companies and its information in details. To study the important factor that promotes satisfactions among customers in respect to the information services. Also in this marketing, digital marketing, there are several research methodologies are here. First is survey methods, primary data. We have to collect the primary data. The primary data should be filtered and should be diagnosed. Then after structure, as per the requirement, personal interview, call interview for the data collection. In the data collection, in filtration process, several data methods are used. Then primary data, structured questionnaires, personal interview, and call interview. In secondary data, we can use company literature, internet, and also internet and the soft coordinate input was like this. Area of the research. The area of the research in which area we should not accommodate and what is its scope, the limitations, all these things also we have to keep it in our mind. And the size of the company or how many users can be involved here to produce the digital marketing for that MSME. The total quantity or the number of users who can use or access the entire database. Second is research design, exploratory and descriptive design. How many codings are there? How much time it will occupy to give you the outputs, its structures, its coding, it should be user friendly. So each and every user can be used it very smoothly. So these are the research design, and the design should be either in HTML or in APS or in ASP or PHP, whatever be the software programming and whatever be the database that are used in the asset, it may be access or Oracle or SQL. It should be very smooth and user friendly. Third one is the types of the survey. The direct interview, pilot survey, and online survey should be allowed by the digital marketing. Then we should come to the very analysis part. Q, social media and effective medium of selling products and services. Analysis. As we know that this data is based on literature and scales and having a different agricultural and diseases and strongly agri points, and the detailed data are shown in my slides also, where you can follow, you can see from the details. Then comes the interpretations. According to the analysis of data, the value 841, which we have mentioned in our slides, 841 falls in the category of strongly agree category, which states that social media is one of the effective medium of selling products and services. Social media nowadays it is very popular. Social media like it may be Facebook, it may be Instagram, it may be Twitter, whatever. Within a fraction of a second, the data or the information should be transferred to each and every user that should be attached to the MSME. Then the conclusion is that despite of the fact that around 92% of the people have presence on social media and 81% of the people finds that social media is effective for the promotions of products and services, it becomes clear that social media is effective for selling products and services. Instead of in comparison with the previous days of the previous era, the amount of advertisements or the reputation or branding cost is very less in the current era with the comparison to the digital marketing. Digital marketing, we can say, to the help of the social media, it erases up to 60% as per the last 5 years report. Recent examples, Tata Housing recently did a Facebook campaign for its new project La Montana in Pune, where it offered buyers a chance to experience the festival in Spain this August. In the 2 weeks of campaign generated 15,000 likes, and Tata Housing was able to sell about 25% of the homes to the projects. Similarly, other examples are also involved. From here, the digital marketing finding several facts and figures, which is very important to the MSME digital marketing involvement. 89.5% people are in favor that they are satisfied with the existing social media communication because they can easily access the information in less time. With the use of minimal time, they can access and use the digital media platform through the help of social media. Social media is the key to any communication strategy for any business, be it a restaurant or a chain of retail store. It is new amount to the most effective media to communicate one's brand's message or project to the other extent better. In current market scenario, there are so many numbers of social media are present over internet, Facebook, Google Plus, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Flix, Amazon, and among them, the Facebook and Twitter are the most famous, and social media advertising and marketing of the provides to the Facebook and Twitter will be the most beneficial and effective medium for the digital marketing in MSME. Besides all these things, Besides all these things, 87.5% people believe that social media in a best way to engage with people. Small and medium enterprises can interact with their customers over social media, and they can also take the feedback to pick the improvement of their products or the service or the technology they have implemented in the MSME through the help of digital media. 53.5% people are strongly agree and maintain the criteria for its use and implementation, that is, it is most user friendly. So out of all these findings, the suggestions we are getting, the major suggestions I may draw your attention, they are: companies should invest more in expanding the capacity of server, because many times in front of the client website unable to open. First, whatever be the website, the web space or the cloud space should be maximum. If the foundation should be strong, then the house should be completed well. What I understand as a technical person. Secondly, after sales services is most important element in service marketing. So companies should make it sure that clients are always satisfied. Satisfaction brings you attention. Number of satisfaction give you more figure and more parameter to develop your customer satisfaction. Number three, Best Price and Bazaar.com is new launch website, so they have to invest some more money in some work and marketing activity. Company can give offers to the customers like with free yellow pages, online listing, like this. These are the major suggestions of the digital marketing to improve the digital marketing in MSME. Thank you. Have a good day. If any questions to me, sir, you should put me the questions. And similarly, regarding though it is the first time online seminar, if regarding any technical issue in my pronunciation, in capturing of the sound, then I will part of it. Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
Okay, thank you, Sabyasachi.
Yes,
Sir,
sir. Yes, sir.
uh,
I think, sir, he has not been able to reconnect due to some network issue.
okay, no problem. We have listened this presentation.
Yes, sir. We will move.
Part of the presenters were not audible also.
Yes, sir.
It's a lot of difficulty. Okay, anyway,
We will move to the
like
next.
to go to the next presenter. Thank you, Mr. Bihu Prasad. Okay, we'll go for the next presenter.
Guru Prasad Das.
Guru Prasad Das will present on ICT and its income generation in rural India, a logical study of agricultural sector.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, audible.
Yes.
Uh,
Namaskar, all of you, sir.
Namaskar.
Guru sir, do you want to play the PPT of yours?
Yeah, I will play my PPT. No need to do that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, a very good evening to all of you and esteemed panel, Anish sir, Shekhar sir, Amita madam, and to my colleague, beloved participants, and my dear students. So, let me at the outset, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you for this occasion, because at the time of pandemic, which is a very hard time for all of us, and people are not moving outside also. So your TEDAS, the School of Management, is taking most of the challenge to conduct this type of seminar. Okay, so I convey my gratitude to all of the faculty members, staff holders of the Asta School of Management. And my paper is, the topic is Information and Communication Technology, ICT, and its income generation in rural India. So actually, this paper is a very big paper. It cannot conclude within 10 or 15 minutes also. So let me try to my best. I'll take some time also to deliver it for you. See, information and communication technology. There are two things is there. One is information and another is technology. And what is information? most of the people said information means data. Data means input. Input means output. But actually, everything is wrong. Information means processed data. A data which is processed properly, or you can say technologically, it is an information. Or you can say the information which has a good relevance to a common man or to a technical person. And information is around us. And the International Data Corporation, IDC also, it estimated the size of digital universe is estimated 4.4 zettabytes. Zettabytes is a term in computer science also. Megabyte, okay, kilobyte, gigabyte, megabyte, and petabyte, and now it is the zettabyte also. That means nearly 1 trillion gigabytes in 2020. Just to imagine. And currently, the digital universe grows 40% every year, and by 2020, the IDC expect it should be doubled or tripled also. And this is the gallery of information and technology we have. It is a very shortcut figure also. And definitely it will boost economic development and raise the standard of living as well as the income. And you must know that agriculture, it is one of the most important engines and contributes a good income in the rural masses. And nowadays, we have a ITC, that is information and communication technology, which provides a better income generation opportunity to the farmers. And information holds a specific key for successful development of agrarian sector. And the Indian agriculture is extremely old also. Okay, if you go back to history, agriculture concept is very, very old. But nowadays, with the introduction of IT, biotechnology, to boost self-reliant economy, and side by side, the probability to become the foremost player in the agricultural sector is immensely very high. Remarkably, 25% share of agriculture in the total value added to the economy, which is extremely high. And so agriculture is unquestionable, and it is very, very vital for India. By generating 26% of GDP and teaming out of millions of people with self-reliance and employing 66% workforce is an adequate statistics to substantiate the entire approach. And the majority of the rural workforce, it is already estimated, it is estimated figure also, we can say it is concrete figure. The 78.1% are employed in agriculture as well as the allied sector. Even the rural India is nothing but agriculture, we can say, because it is a buzzword by all the people, because India is the agricultural country. We have an agrarian economy, but how it is successful also. But agriculture has been growing at a more 2% approximately in rural economy. Therefore, rural income growth is very, very little. And the main focus is utilizing the upgraded technology and strengthen the development of rural economy to mount up the profit. That is also most important part also. And let us examine how the information and the ICT both are correlated with each other, both are moved with each other. ICT are basically depend on information handling tools. Nowadays, we have some ultra modern devices. You can say it is already new and advanced also. Just we are forgetting the old and traditional devices like radio, television sets, telephones, all like that. We have a satellite, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth technology, internet, intranet. So the main purpose is, that means the different equipments are now able to work together and combine to form a network world. So already we are interlinked with each other. You see how the seminar will be successful. Okay, most of the participants, most of the students and experts are sitting in their homes and we are talking with each other. But thanks to the technology. But sometimes technology makes a problem. Actually, the problem is not part of, it is a part of the user. We don't blame to the technology also. Technological advancement are always welcome, leaving aside old notions. Technology is a must, technologies are coming also, But the main thing is how we are utilizing it, how we are using it also. And recently there is another term also, big data is there. It is the part of the data science. Big data, it is a very huge data. The actual data size is already calculated also, just to think what is the brain of human mind. And the next big data, it will govern to the next, it will govern to the IT world. Like many new information technology, big data can make a dramatic change in reduction, the cost reduction, actually reduction in the cost, substantial improvements, and computing tasks to make a new product and to help various tools and architecture. That means by help of big data, one can achieve great success in the rural sector. That means you can implement your knowledge, you can implement your task, and you can implement some platforms in a logical manner. And in ITC, the big data is a very vital role to play. And it is the European Commission which gives the significance of ITC in a very incredible manner. It indicates the technology itself, then its ability to create greater access to information and communication to the undeserved population and fill the gap between technological have and have not area. Just to see, because now we have a barrier. Till date we have a barrier. Because I have given an example, only I can say 20%, take it percent, 20% people are taking online classes, and remaining 80 people just to think what is the condition also. And you have asked me is 55% of people are taking meal once in a day during the pandemic also. What is the grave situation? Okay, and 14 crores people are salaried people. That means skilled people are there, unskilled, semi-skilled, all are mixed also. They are losing their jobs. People are returning from the abroad. So the main thing is that means we have to link the ICT in such a way so no problem will occur. So we have to clear the concept also, because I will go by the next slide also. You see, what are the impacts? That ICT is regarded as a driver and enabler. That means you can drive it out, you can enable also. Without a driver, you cannot drive the car or bus. Similarly, you are the sole driver and you have to enable it proper ways. And the 25 seen is rapid technological advance, which raise the standard of living, literacy, healthcare, and life expectancy also. Still then, we have we are struggling, that is industrialization of mass murder and the global warming and the recent pandemic also, COVID-19 pandemic, which revealed how vulnerable and interconnected we are. So the arrival of information and communication technologies for the 21st century equally presents both opportunities. It also opens the challenge among us. At the time of globalization and information revolution, the extraordinary increase of knowledge have been giving birth to the new unprecedented era. So different experts, they have given their views regarding Atmanirbhar Bharat also. Okay, because it is a slogan by the Modi government. And Atmanirbhar Bharat has a lot of meaning also. If you go to 50 years back or 60 years back, at that time Atmanirbhar Bharat was there. But now the situation is dramatically changed. After coronavirus, the situation is dramatically changed. Okay. So that means.
Excuse me, Bibhu sir.
Yes, sir.
Bibhu sir, yes sir. Sir, more 2 minutes to
Okay.
wind up the presentation.
Okay. So that means how to make self-reliant India, self-sufficient India, which is the vision. And so we have some issues also, community issue and training and research issue, political issue also, clear. And we have some recommendations. So most of the people are thinking that rural people are extremely poor. They don't have any interaction facility, language problem. No. So nowadays, people are very clever and using mobile in not proper ways also. 20% they are okay, 80% are not. And just we should go by the email, chat groups, notice board, and educational based information. And we have a table also, rural incomes, 3,87,097 crores, you see. We have agriculture sector 34% and non-agriculture 66%. Among them, self-employed, wage earners, formal and non-formal. And it is very strong approach that generating 25% GDP, the feeding out of millions, with a very critical job, and 70% Indians are people are live in villages. And one thing, just I am telling you, we have a RAD technology here, Rapid Action Development. So what is a RAD technology? Actually, RAD technology model you can implement in the rural area also. The main thing is how to capture the maximum database. Already big data is there, no? You can process huge number of database. So by help of RAD technology, you can process big number of database, and that means it can be used for high-end and low-end purpose also. Okay, and another is the campaign management. Campaign management is, suppose you are making campaigning, but you don't know what will the result. We have some software, it will guide you whether you are a right track or you are a wrong track also. That means you can change I want to say what the track of the campaign also. It will guide you immensely. And just I will give you some example also. You have astonished. Recently, 3 scholars of GM University, that is on the Sambalpur also, they have invented a rhyme meters, or you can say that is pulse of plant. That means if you feed on the plant also, it will give you the what is the pulse rate of the plant. Just imagine, it is in Odisha and it is in the rural area. And similarly, a lady in Uttar Pradesh.
Vibhu sir, I just want to interrupt you. We
Yes.
are having, the time is over. It's already
Okay,
11
okay, sir.
minutes.
Okay.
So if you have any
Okay.
concluding statement, sir, if you have any concluding statement, you can give to
I
the
will
panel.
tell you only 2 lines. Your very good topic, vocal for local. At last, I want to say 2 or 3 lines regarding the vocal for local. The term is very interesting and sounds well. Lot of presenters and speakers have elaborated many things very rigorously and very immensely, very beautifully as well. But in my mind, one thing comes: first we should be local, then we go for the global. Most of the people till date in their mind, that means they are global in their thoughts, in action, they are local. But that cannot be. The time is changed. The mindset should be changed now. Because one thing, just everybody remember, the time is very tough. The mindset is completely changed. Okay, unless and until you are not entering into the field, entering to the land also, you cannot taste the condition of the land. So we need cooperation at all the levels to march ahead together. Okay, my last just I will quote a word by the Ratan Tata. If you want to work fast, work alone. But if you want to work for, work together. It indicates that the relation between information and communication with the agricultural sector moves together in rural India by holding their hand each other. Okay, and thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, to give me.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, GP sir.
It's a very big topic also. I cannot.
I understand. Okay, Professor Das, it was a very nice topic. Very nice topic. But I went through your paper.
Sir.
I have a very small query that you have taken the data up to 2015. In one data,
it is estimated data, sir. Estimated data by the Planning Commission.
Basically, you said what I found, gradually the farmers are understanding, or people are understanding the value of ICT.
Right.
Gradually changing their understanding.
Obviously.
Achha. Can you tell me, after understanding the role of ICT in agricultural sector, what is the impact of that in Odisha agricultural industry, Odisha agricultural sector? Any typical impact that you have observed being a researcher?
Sir, what happened? Okay, sir. I'll give a very small case studies also. So, recently, a lady bank official or bank staff who moves different parts of rural village to spread the awareness regarding digital operations like deposit, withdraw, granting of loans, etc. Just to think, because let the people know, let the people make awareness. See, only handling a mobile is nothing. Also, messages are coming, messages are going, and people are using chatting also. So, see, it is required. No doubt, it is required. But the maximum emphasis is given the utilization of the technology. The main purpose is let them know about the system, let them know about the device, let them know about the technology. See, another example.
My question was that any
Huh.
particular initiation taken by the state government, particularly in agricultural sector, you have got three sides. One is input, processing,
Yes.
and output or marketing.
Right, right, sir.
Any initiative
Right,
taken
sir.
by the government.
Sir, planning is there. The main thing is implementation. Implementation part is very important, sir. Okay. And even most educated people, they are using technology also not in a rightful manner also. Okay, whatever is required, that is okay also.
Okay,
Because
thank you. Thank
okay.
you, ma'am.
So thank you, sir, all of you.
Chandrasekhar would like to ask because he's a man from ICT.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Sekhar, sir. Thank you all the participants. Thank you.
Sir. No, so basically, sir, I'm not from academia. So in terms of research papers and all that,
Industry.
I go to Dr. Tushar in terms of knowledge. My basic viewpoint would be, more in terms of an entrepreneur business or in terms of more practical usage.
Sir.
Sir, basically, sir, if I understand correctly, your paper says that ICT should be used by
In agricultural sector.
in the agricultural sector.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
And you have said that it can be done in terms of community issues and
Right.
what else? Sir, sir, what is your learning from this? I mean, in terms of as a researcher, while developing, while creating this paper, what has been your learning from this in a nutshell? I mean, if I may.
Sir, my main thrust is, see, implementation is very important, sir. Suppose you have to make a chop out the plan. Suppose you have to define the problem. The problem is defined. Then again, you have to taste the problem. Sorry, plan the
That I
problem.
understand. So what I'm saying is,
You have to
based
plan
upon
the
your
problem.
research, what is it that you have understood?
Sir, my main thrust is how to utilize the ICT in the agricultural sector in the proper manner. Sir, you see, the most of the IITians and IITians and your management professionals, they are leaving their jobs and coming to the land also in the rural areas to make some cultivation. So because they are the pillars, because they will show us the technique also. In that way, you will use that ICT, and you will get the profit. And you see the pandemic time also, we have a that is the website Arogya Setu app also. It will help us. Just the happenings regarding your neighbors and all like that. So because they people will entertain you, they will give some training also. Training and research is there, and some political issues there. That is also very important also. But we have a PPP mode, public-private partnership will be there, because the government can do it also. Because most of the project of the government, first of all, it is good. After 1 or 2 years, just it collapses. It is a warning fact also. Okay, but we have a communication and cooperation, coordination also, and it can easily done by the PPP mode. That is public and private partnerships.
So now we'll go to the next presenter, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Chandrasekhar, sir. So we'll go to the next presenter.
Sir, please, sir.
Next presenter is sitting with us, Professor Sabyasachi and Jeba Taj. They have a very nice paper, ITC Expression of Being Local, a review. They have made a review.
Hello,
Yes.
sir, am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
much.
we can hear you.
So, yes, Zeba, you can on the video we will run your PPT. Just first of all on the
Sir,
video.
I'll share the screen from my side.
Okay. Okay then.
So should I switch on my video?
Then you can share the PPT.
Yes, sir. Sir, please able my share screen sharing.
Asif sir, kindly share the screen. It's done, Zeba. You can share the PPT.
Yes, sir. Very good afternoon to everyone. I am Zeba Taj and I am a scholar. So I have written this paper named ITC Expression of Being Local under the guidance of Assistant Professor Sabyasachi Pradhan. This paper gives an insight about how a company from a very humble beginning became an international conglomerate. This is the story of ITC Limited. As they say, a dream doesn't become a reality through magic. It takes hard work, determination, and persistence. The dream of making a self reliant India is not only the dream of our Honorable Prime Minister, but a dream of the entire country. On 15th of August 2020, on the occasion of the 70th Independence Day, our Prime Minister called for the people to lend their support in making India self reliant or Atmanirbhar and become vocal for local. This particular article reviews different campaigns of ITC Limited on television and social media and their alignment with the theme Vocal for Local. Let's have a look on the FMCG industry in India. Ever since the nationwide emotional call of our Prime Minister, the Indian FMCG companies have started following it within no time. India is the biggest FMCG market, and Indian brands have been the market leaders in many product categories. For example, hair oils, Chyawanprash, health supplements, etc. These Indian brands are also gaining market shares in highly competitive categories such as toothpaste or shampoos, etc. This trend in food industry is completely local. More than 60% of brands are local in the FMCG industry. Now let's have a look upon the competitor brands of ITC who have started different initiatives with the theme being vocal for local. So when we talk about Parle, Parle is the largest biscuit maker in India, and it has released several ads for its brands like Parle-G, Hide and Seek, and others on the theme support Swadeshi business and seek local. When we talk about Dabur, Dabur has also launched a series of advertisements highlighting the Indian roots of the company and its 135-year-old heritage of caring for every household in India. And Patanjali is, of course, a household name. We all know about Patanjali, and the essence of Patanjali lies in its natural products. So that is the reason it has become a household name right now in India. Now, when we talk about our ITC Limited, we all know that it was established in the year 1910 and it is headquartered in Kolkata, West Bengal. But what we don't know is the ITC's philosophy is nation first, sab saath badhe. And this particularly underlines the core belief in building a globally competitive and profitable Indian enterprise which can provide value to the society. As the company is deeply rooted in Indian soil, it has been able to achieve the position of India's leading FMCG market. Over the last decade, ITC's businesses have been successful in building 25 world-class mother brands that create and retain value in India. These are the various brands. These are the various brands that are a part of the 25 world-class mother brands. We see on the screen Fiamma Devils, Vidal Chocolates, Savlon, Sunfeast, Yippee, Mangaldeep Agarbatti. Then there is uh, Engage, so Ashirwad Atta, then Sunbeam Coffee. So these are the brands that have been a part of what ITC called as the 25 mother brands of that particular company. Now, now let's talk about the Proudly Indian campaign, which has been started by ITC, which has been initiated by ITC. So it is a digital campaign that has been running across the social media for a while now. So it tries to inculcate the Indian ethos in their brands, mainly the food and personal care brands. So they have been marketing their products with a touch of Indianism in them. The very feeling of patriotism is evoked in the advertisements, and products are presented as a symbol for the symbol of love for the country. So it basically tries to touch the hearts of young Indians and with patriotic feelings that will in turn pursue them to buy products that are made in India, and that will decrease the dependence on foreign products. So this campaign has also generated a considerable amount of interest among all the netizens, and this particular Proudly Indian campaign also is in alignment with the call of being vocal for local by our Honorable Prime Minister. Now, this is the e-Chopal campaign. This is also a campaign initiated by ITC Limited. So, it is actually an initiative wherein the rural farmers are directly linked to the company via internet and for the procurement of agricultural and aquacultural products. So, that products includes soya bean, wheat, coffee, etc. So, this initiative actually connects the farmers to the company directly. So they are able to negotiate the prices or prices of the crops that they grow, and it has shortened the distance between the farmers and the company. So presently there are 6,100 e-chopals in operation in 35,000 villages across 10 Indian states right now. So we did in this paper. I did two ad reviews. Both the advertisements are were run by ITC. So due to short time, I was only able to do two ad reviews. So the first ad review was this ad is actually run by ITC across all its social media platforms like YouTube, etc. That has created quite a considerable interest in us. So I'll explain about what was there in the ad. So this ad is actually a visual delight for the people viewing it. So it is an amalgamation of different ads that ITC runs for its whole range of products under different brands. So it basically uses a highly spirited theme with a hue of colors orchestrating all around. So this theme perfectly elucidates the vibrant India. The music is sort of an accelerator that calls for people to actively participate in nation building. The fusion of music with the colors add to its charm and vibe. And every ad ends with a distinct picture of the product as well as the brand that tends to remain in the minds of the viewers. So and also let me talk about the characterization. So here the character so basically it depicts the hard work that has been put by our farmers that makes a value addition to the beauty of our motherland. So there we can say that there is from catering to all the needs, from catering to all needs of the all age groups to alluring relationships. So this particular is a remarkable blend of characters and warmth. We also see a astonishing jumble of emotions that get induced in us, and the very essence of India being an agrarian economy is beautifully depicted in this ad. Now, the second ad review. So, this particular ad was released on the International Labour's Day and was named Fruits of Labour. So, it is about a promise that the brand makes to the farmers by honoring their fruits of labor. So, this gives a pictorial presentation of the indigenous India, whose most crucial components are its farmers. So, it beautifully depicts the relationship that we share with our farmers. So they put their blood and sweat in growing foods for us, and which is in growing healthy food for us, which is a sign of purity. We can see here the crux of oneness, like unity and purity in this ad. So we see farmers across different parts of the country who are culturally diverse. They come together and produce food for us, and which is a sign of unity. So there is a subtle use of colors in music, which makes the ad very soothing. So it basically emphasizes on the various stories of farmers and their collaboration with the brand to actually value every ounce of earnest hard work done by the farmers. And the purchasing of fruits directly from the farmers connects very well with the theme vocal for local. In conclusion, I would like to say that ITC company has left no stone unturned in arousing in us the vibe of Indianness. They do intensive promotion of their brand on social media platforms. The advertisement solely essences the root of our production, that are our farmers, who are also the building blocks of our nation. And their production is a sign of purity, and we have to encourage this noble cause, so that this habit of healthy eating should also reach to rest of the world. So, and it can only be done through rigorous promotion and joining hands with the mass. So an advertisement holds a power to impact the customers mentally, emotionally, and logically. So, and this proudly Indian campaign that has been initiated by ITC perfectly aligns with the theme with the nationwide call of being vocal for local. We can use this initiative can work as a potential tool in reviving India's slowing economy, wherein India can produce locally, buy locally, but sell globally. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jeba. I think you have given a very nice presentation.
Yes, sir.
I have a very small question for you before Mr. Chandrasekhar will ask. What you would like to communicate, what you would like to express through this particular paper? What is your message?
Sir, the message is very simple, that the Indian companies, they are basically advertising their products. Uh, their basic motto of advertisement is that they should inculcate in us, the feeling of the pride that what we are eating or what we are buying is local. It is made from India. It is made from the blood and sweat of our farmers. So it basically encourages local buying. So if we buy local products that are made in India, so that is basically going to help those companies to come up. And ever since this call of being vocal for local that our Prime Minister has given, the companies have quickly started, advertising their products with Indianness. They're trying to connect to a rural India. They're trying to connect the hearts of people, that the feeling of patriotism, nationalism. So they are using this to promote their products locally. And this being vocal for local is, of course, not only related that we will only buy local products, but we have to also make our products uh, we have to increase the products value, so that they can go globally. Then we can spread that in the rest of the world. So majorly that's what we are depicting.
Okay, so you gave some example of like ITC Chopal,
Yes.
and how
Yes.
the
Yes.
farmers are linked to the corporates. But there are a lot of resistance related to corporatizations. But in a country, sorry, state like Odisha, and the type of farming or pattern we have, uh, do you think that farmers should be more and more connected towards corporate sectors?
Sir, in my personal view, I think this is the need of the hour, that we need to connect them because that is the only way that we see the lot of in the ad review that I did, the second ad review, it was shown that different farmers, across the country, they grow a lot of fruits, but they are wasted. They don't get buyers, and even if they get buyers, so they exploit them. So when the company is directly purchasing and it's connecting via internet and directly purchasing
So
those
they will get marketing
materials from
facilities.
farmers, that yes, of course. And when they know through each opal, they are getting to know about the current rates, what is going on, so the negotiation prices. So there is less amount of being cheated. So I think it's the need of the hour.
So what problems you just apprehend? Suppose farmers of rural sectors, particularly in Odisha, will be connected to this chapel mode and others. What sort of problems you just apprehend? Just tell me. From farmer sides, what will be the problems?
For farmer sides, connectivity has been a problem, that everywhere internet connection is not available. So connectivity
Corporate may
and the
demand a particular
trust
standard
when
of product,
yes, sir.
a particular, they may demand for a particular standard of product, standard of packaging, then let's say standard grade of, let's say, agro products. So the farmers need to be very competent also in that matter. So now I will request Chandrasekhar sir to ask question.
Hi, Zaiba. Very
Hello,
nice
sir.
presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations. Okay. I'll just follow up on what Dr. Tushar asked you. If I'm not mistaken, this particular paper is basically about ITC expression of being local, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, it's basically the campaign that they are running saying that they are local.
Yes, sir.
A particular campaign of ITC is what you're concentrating upon, right? Not on ITC and all its products, or am I mistaken?
So, sir, we are particularly focusing on the Proudly Indian campaign. So that was started by ITC, and how it has now it has been aligned with this vocal for local theme, and how it is benefiting us.
Okay. Now this is where I got a little confused. How is it benefiting us? I mean, it's benefiting the company, no doubt, because I can't think of any FMCG. I mean, okay, see, FMCG products by the very nature are all produced locally. I mean, you call it HUL, Godrej, or ITC, all of them are producing locally, right? I mean, you don't have any FMCG products that are being imported, unless I'm mistaken, I do not know. No?
So 60% of India's market is in FMCG sector is local. So rest 40% is not local.
Yeah, but that 40%, I mean, what, I mean, again, I mean, I'm not so very touched with the market maybe nowadays, but as far as I see it in terms of daily products that we use, most of them are as such produced in India. I mean, of course, you must be right, because you must have researched this paper, you must have found that 40% are imported. Okay. So the way I see it is, this is basically a marketing campaign which they have sought to capitalize on the current political trend and try to better their sales of their products, right?
They are trying to reach the young mass through advertisements, right? They're trying to connect with us, because mass population in India is young, so they are social media users. I mean, so this social media campaign has it'll create that connect with the brand. So it's ITC has always been a brand of, or a company with India and Indian soil. So they basically focus on India, on the prosperity of India. So
But see, frankly speaking, even, ITC owes its history to WT and HO Wells, right? I mean, it's come from there. So you see, for example, if you see HUL started off as Lever Hume, but now it is completely Indian company, right? So Godrej is a completely Indian company. I mean, so in a sense, saying that it's an Indian company itself, I mean, it's okay. We take it for granted that it is an Indian company. But in terms of uniqueness, what I mean, say compared to its other FMCG competitors, is there something special about ITC? I mean, the reason why you took it up as a paper.
Uh, so the history of ITC is such that they are always following this philosophy that they follow, that what we call is that nation first. That so their approach, connect to the rural people, their approach to connect to the farmers, and their advertisement that are based basically on you know the building blocks of a nation, that are our farmers. So that I think makes ITC different from others, because they have that kind of approach when they are starting a movement as e-Chopal that we learned. So how they are
Actually,
trying to connect rural.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Zeba, I come from a different generation. Okay, so when we were young, okay, ITC was primarily a cigarettes company, right? So they have done
Yes,
a
yes, yes,
okay, they have done a massive
yes.
rebranding exercise to disconnect themselves from cigarettes. Okay, now in fact their entire your FMCG paper, in fact that e-Chopal and all those things originated from their connect with tobacco farmers, if I remember correctly. During those times, to in order to get the best possible tobacco, they created a direct linkage with tobacco farmers through this e-Chopal, which then went on to the other year. Now there's disconnecting from a negative product like cigarettes, right? Now, in terms of FMCG, yes, they are definitely good, a very good company. In fact, I have personal liking because somebody I know is the CEO of the FMCG, the personal care products, Samir Sarpati. He's from Exxon. So, yeah, okay. So, in terms of FMCG products, yes, they're definitely there. But for this particular campaign, uh, local for local, your paper, your conclusion is that they have used this particular concept of going local, going vocal for local as a marketing strategy. Is that the essence of the paper?
Yes,
I mean, again, if I'm not mistaken.
They're into emotional kind of advertising.
Right.
yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, Sabyasachi, we have another paper presenter, I think. Pradeep Kumar Mishra. Is he there? Pradeep Kumar Mishra. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Am I audible now, sir?
Yes, audible. Mr. Mishra is there?
Sir, R. Bhargav will present the paper of Pradeep Kumar Mishra.
Yes.
So, Pradeep Kumar Mishra is from corporate, sir. He's from Bharat Serums, a pharmaceutical company. And R. Bhargav is from MKC Infrasoft.
Okay, so I invite Mr. Bhargav to give the presentation on this topic, local to vocal, a case study of MDH spices.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
Sir, if you please allow me to share my screen then.
Bhargav, 1
Sir,
minute.
is it visible?
1 minute.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, it's visible.
Is it visible, sir?
Yes, well, you are visible, but your screen is not visible.
Now, sir?
It's mentioned that you have started sharing screen, but yes, visible.
esteemed resource person, my dear panelists, and all other participants. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Bhargav. Is going to present written by Mr. Pradyumna Mishra, Regional Sales Manager at Bharat Stadium Vaccines, and by me, MBA graduate, presently working at MKC Infrastructure.
Problem there.
Bhargav Aniya?
Hello.
Bhargav?
Hello. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tushar sir sir, are you able to listen?
Sir, I think, sir, he is muted.
Bhargav,
Here.
one thing we can do, we can share your PPT. You just you present the paper. Asif sir will share your PPT. Would it be fine?
Okay, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. Fine, fine. No issues.
Asif sir, can we share the PPT? Yes. Tushar sir, is it visible?
Yes, visible, visible,
Okay.
visible.
Okay. Bhargav, we can carry on. Bhargav, you can start the presentation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Can you move on to the next slide, please? Hello. Sir, can you please change the slide? The the present picture depicts the most famous festival which is celebrated throughout the Odisha in Kartik Purnami. But sir, please bring back. Baita Bandanu. It is the festival basically celebrated throughout Odisha in Kartik Purnami. This symbolizes the ancient times where the young traders used to go across seashores to different countries, Southeast Asian countries like Malaysia, Zuma, Sumatra, to sell their spices. And right now, we are not only selling the prices, rather, India is known for its spices. So, ever its inception, the growth of spices has gone to local to a global. So, with this, I want to start the presentation by local to global. How a how a small company, small spices business grown into a world-renowned MDH spice company. Sir, slide please.
Next slide.
Sir, please next slide.
Yes, we are doing Bhargav, but it's
Okay, thanks. Presenting the legendary person, the founder and the CEO, and the person behind the success of MDH Mahashay Dharam Gulati, as well known as Dadaji. He is the most eminent, inspiring personalities of today's corporate world. He is the person who brought change to the brought change the way Indian housewives cook today. Several decades ago, Indian housewives used to grind spices manually at home and make their own blends for the cooking purpose. And it was Gulati's visualization to bring the concept to ready to use the ground spices and revolutionary the Indian kitchen. And yet today, the demand for spices and blends are not only popular in India, but also all over the world, like USA, Canada, and so on. Moreover, Gulati also Gulati, a small person who dealt in different occupations, lived through the miseries of partitions and faced many financial losses, relevance in the market, and got ahead as a searchable applauds. So please change the slides. Change the slides, sir.
Yes,
So
we are
let us
doing.
focus. Yes, let us focus on the history of the MDH. Born and raised in Silipot, Pakistan, Gulati's father, Maheshwar Chunilal, started a small business in 1919. Later, Gulati left school in 1913, post fifth standard. That was despite being among all millennials who forced to post during the partition between India and Pakistan. Gulati never lost and never lost the fire of enterprise to die away from him. In 1947, he came to India along with family, moved in Delhi as a refugee, started his small business as a Tonga as a horse driver with a nominal amount of 650. Later on, in 1958, he started a small masala store in Hut in Karol Bagh, Delhi. That was the time where the demand for chili powder in Delhi was risen like anything, and it was the Gulati who started that movement. And within 5 years, he earned a very good amount of money, and he further invested in bringing another stall that was first India. Sir, my screen.
Bhargav, just a minute.
So there's a small glitch. So we will just take 30 seconds.
Sir, I can continue without the presentation then.
Yes, Bhargav, you can continue.
Okay. So it was in 1954 he started first Indian modern masala store in Delhi. During this era, it has gained numerous popularity in Delhi. Not only in Delhi, he also started his movement. The MDH also involved in aggressive campaigns. In 1948, a newspaper named Pratap among the Punjabi refugee started aggressively advertising the MDH. It was the time in 1959, Gulati re-established his spice manufacturing factory land and this gave led birth to the Maheshian D Hatti, that is what we call MDH. So next slide. During fine, sir. During 2017, at the age of 94, Mr. Gulati was considered to be the highest FMCG CEO to get salary about near about 21 to 25 crore during 2017 and 18, and the government of India in 2019 honored Gulati with Padma Bhushan, considering India's third civilian award. So next slide. This is the philosophy of Mahashya Dhampalji, that give the world to the best you can, and the best you will come back to you automatically. And with his efforts, with his continuous perseverance and honesty, MD's name stood as synonymous to the quality prices. I have explained the top all the points already. So please change the slides. So let me go through the scaling of MDH. MDH has more than exports at present. It exports more than 100 countries, which having 62 range of products like meat masala, rajma, kasuri, dal, makhani, and the company clocks a revenue of 924 crores the last year 2019, and it has product packaging of 150 plus. The main plus point of this MDH company, which makes differentiation from other competitors, is that MDH has got the best packaging at a very reasonable rate. Soon MDH has moved from the manual operations to the most automated operation in order to meet the very high demand. And today MDH is MDH is having automated machines not only in Delhi but also in Haryana, Nagpur, Maharashtra, Gujarat, UP, Amritsar, Punjab, with over 30,000 tons of spice powders on daily basis, dealing with 30,000 stockists and 4 lakh retail dealers. So next please. So next slide. Now, the question may arise, how did MDH fit to the market? Needless to say, India is a place where we have unorganized, unbranded spice markets. More than the brand names which you can even never hear, that kind of spice markets is entering into the market. Near about 5,000 crore unbranded spices have entered into the market. So in order to give the cutthroat competition, MDH was involved in experimenting new and new flavors, bringing in new and new flavors in pan masala. Sorry, in masala category. And we all know MDH is the biggest company in industry trading in after Everest, Catch, and Tea has entered into the arena. As compared to Catch is spread in the north and MTR is in the south and MDH is all over the world. Starting from the north to the North Indian to the ending from the Dubai. MDH has got its marketing strategies at everywhere. As I have said, for MDH, Everest is the nearest competitor as both of them are nearly 4 lakhs retail dealers. MDH has more than 52 blend prices, whereas Everest has only 34 blend prices. MDH and Catch has been among the biggest brand in North America, and Everest is a strong player in wrestling. So next slide. Competitive landscape. I want to share one instance. It was during 1948, MDH was involved in aggressive campaign for its product. A newspaper called Pratap, it used to advertise its product, and when Catch, upon the competitor who featured a beauty of a Bollywood actor, Julie Chawla, and there when comes Gulati entered into the TV screen, featuring one of the most eminent Bollywood actor and actress Neha Gupta and Shah Ijamabad, and they have shown what are the advantages, what are the traits and other of packaging system and packaging features and etc. characteristics of this MDH. As I said before, Catch is spread in the north and MTL in the south, but due to some interventions in government, that is export and import cost, the cost of raw materials, or cost of fuel, it was a very tough moment for MDH to expand in other countries like Canada and US and Christian. So next slide. As we all know, innovations, as we all know, competitors always aim at bringing new innovations so that customers have the visibility towards the fastest towards the product, and the visibility of their product to the fast changing customer is the main criteria. But the only thing difference is that MDH was not only involved in the making attracting customers, but also in global level, like in Europe, in many European countries where they considered quality as a basic parameter to judge the product. MDH was involved in maintaining the quality and the attraction of the product. The spice and blenders are not only popular in India, but also it is popular in United States, America, Canada, UK, and the MDH offices are also opened in UK, that is London, and the state-of-art manufacturing unit in Sharjah, UAE. Very recently, MDH is planning to go into the next phase of expansion to RTE segment and cooking paste. It aims to go for the international brand. RTE segment means ready to eat.
So, Bhargav, you wind it up in.
Hello.
wind it
Sir, I'm
up in
done, sir.
one
I
more.
think last 2 slides only, sir.
Yes.
Okay. The last slide, sir.
Next.
This is a packing strategy. MDH offers the packing of 95 to 74 grams at very reasonable price. As I said, in an Indian company, when when it's advertising its product globally, quality becomes the main parameter, and the aroma. When a spices is left in the open air, the aroma the spice may lose its aroma. MDH has passed the hurdle by maintaining the aroma in its quality packaging. And Maheshe himself designed the packaging and decided to enter into the frame as a brand ambassador of MDH. And today, MDH is known to be exotic aroma texture and its fur taste. Okay, sir. Sir, next. Sir, this is one of the packing strategies of the company. So at last, I want to conclude my paper by saying that MD Spices is the largest producer of spice in India ever. The concept of to make easier housewives create distinct taste in cooking by using ready-to-use ground has made to enter into market 13% after average. Now the company is also involved in many CSR activities, relevant projects, and developed by Gulati ji. Thank you, sir.
So thank you very much for the nice paper, a success story that basically you have presented. We have no question for them. I think we are running shortage of time. It is already 4:35. So I would like to ask Besachi when we are going to finish.
Sir, yes, sir. Okay.
Please close
Okay,
this. Close the PPT.
So there is a request from a participant, that is Oshin Ansari. She has not been able to connect, but she has a video that has the PPT and the she wants to give. So she wants your permission if that PPT could be run.
You just tell me
what is the time, sir?
Time is 4:35. When we want to, when we have to wind off, tell me. I don't have any problem. You tell me from your side. Up to what time we will continue?
So 5:10 we can wind it up.
Okay, so I will tell 15 minutes. Will okay. Let us listen to Ashim.
Yes, this is the last, sir. We have completed all the papers. This is the last one, and I think she may not be able to connect us, but there is a request from her side. So it is, if you give permission, then only we will run.
I permit. 5 minutes. Only 5 minutes.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Mohsin Ansari, research scholar from Jivaji University, Gwalior. My paper topic is India's COVID-19 stimulus package, self-reliant India, a critical analysis. First of all, I am starting with the formal introduction. The COVID-19 pandemic has impacted all the sectors of Indian economy. India's Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced a special economic package of rupees 20 lakh crore, equivalent to 10% of GDP on 12 May 2020. He also outlined five pillars of Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is economy, infrastructure, system, demography and demand. The finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that in order to prove the resolve of Atmanirbhar Bharat, land, labor, liquidity, and laws have all been focused in Atmanirbhar Bharat package. In the crisis and the challenge is an opportunity to build Atmanirbhar Bharat. The COVID-19 pandemic has thrown a spotlight on the conditions of internal migrant workers throughout India. RBI and the government had announced a stimulus package to the tune of about rupees 9.92 lakh crore. It was only after the Prime Minister's speech on 12th May 2020 in March a larger package was announced. This package was taken together with the earlier ones announced to rupees to 20.97 lakh and about 10% of GDP of the country. Overall stimulus package provided by Atmanirbhar Bharat in part 1 amount provided 59455 crore, in part 2 amount provide 310000 crore, in part 3 amount provide 150000 crore, in part 4 and 5 amount provide 48100 crore. The subtotal is 110265 crore. Earlier incentive included PMGKP amount provide 192,800 crore. RBI measure amount is 801603 crore. The subtotal 994403 crore. The grand total is 209705 crore. If we talk about objective, the first one is to study the self-reliant India movement package. Second one is to analyze the pillar of self-reliant India movement package. Methodology, the research study is on secondary data which has been collected by government website, journal, newspapers, research articles, etc. The study is based on descriptive research. There are five pillars of Atmanirbhar Bharat. The first one is business including MSME. Second one is poor including migrant and farmer. Third one is agriculture. Fourth one is new horizon of growth. And next is government reform and enables. There are five pillars of Atmanirbhar Bharat. The first one is economy. Next one is second one is infrastructure. Third one is technology driving system. Fourth one is demography. Fifth one is demand. Economy. Economy is the first pillar of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Without strong and diversified economy manifest not just an internal and external microeconomics indicator, but it avoid counterproductive imbalance in demand and supply.
Sir, with your so we are closing this PPT.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Achha.
Sir, now Tushar sir, as you will sum up the entire session. We will not, as we are very shortage of time and we are running out of time, we'll only not keep any question answer session for now. We will have your sum up of the total event and we will close the.
Okay, I will continue up to 5. I have got 15 minutes by hand. Mr. Chandrasekhar, Mr. Chandrasekhar has left.
No, I'm here, sir.
Sir, here. Achha, very good. I couldn't see you on the screen. So thank you. At the outset, I would like to congratulate all the 7 paper presenters that they have presented their papers in different perspectives like planning, plan, policies, at the same time from promotion angle. So at the outset, I would like to thank our resource person, Mr. Chandrasekhar, for giving a brief outline regarding the changing behavior of people due to pandemic. And at the same time, he highlighted about the new normal aspect and many related things, which became an eye-opener for the rest all members, paper presenters. And ultimately, we are going to conclude the session with my very little or few remarks. If I'm not wrong, our Prime Minister, I said in the very beginning that go vocal for local was a very emotional appeal to people of India. 130 crores of Indian population, more than that. The young India that we say, 60% or more than 65% people of India are young people. When I say young people, they consume a lot. As a result of which, entire world is focusing India. The countries which were our not good friend earlier, now they are our good friend. This COVID-19 has changed our mindset of people, social structure have changed. Like said the now mask has become a mandatory, social distancing is a mandatory, many things change. We have witnessed these changes, and we'll have a lot of psychological problems right now sitting at home also. We need to prepare for that also. Every day I used to discuss with my friends, when Corona is going to end, they said, we never know, doctors do not know, nobody knows what will happen to economy. But we saw that lots of migrant laborers, we had never realized in state like Odisha also, okay, that we have got so many people who are working in other part. We didn't find any migration from, let's say, people who have come to Odisha and they returned at that time, very few. But most of the Oriya people came from other parts of the country. At the same time, we found many foreigners, Indian people who are living in foreign countries, they returned. So what I mean to say, we have got, there is no shortage of talent. So when he spoke on that Independence Day, what I mean to say, he just explained us what is the meaning of independence. If you say Atmanirbhar Bharat, if you say self-reliant India, it is all about what is independence. We Indian people think independence means 15th August. We think independence means 15th August. So independence is a state of mind, not just a day in the year. It is stretching out your hand out to give, not to receive. Stretch your hand to give, not to receive. It is living today to the fullest. It is looking forward to an even better tomorrow. It is being prepared for the expected. It is being prepared for the unexpected. It is being prepared for the expected, at the same time unexpected. Then we call it independence. It is making the right choice. And it is freedom to live on your own terms. So like I have remembered Professor Sabyasachi said in the beginning that self-reliant concept is not new. Today morning I was going through a book written by Gandhi long back. So at that point of time, how he has described what should be the different components of a village. I have remembered in our school days or days when we are in village, we are quite independent. We didn't have much idea. Gradually, we thought that we'll go global. And now global concept has, let's say, again from 1992, we thought of global, then all of a sudden we thought, we should move towards village. We should think about our parents. We should think about elderly people. Every day night, I used to get so many stories written by local writers on different stories related to how thinking about elderly people, how to take care of sisters, brothers, different stories comes. All of a sudden we thought about that. I'll give one example. One of my friend who stood first class fast in matriculation, did his IIT. He took volunteer retirement. They just found an opportunity in a state like Odisha. Every day morning we used to get, let's say, eggs from Andhra Pradesh, banana from Andhra Pradesh, fish from Andhra Pradesh. So the three friends, they started a project near Atgad, taking 70 acres land. They have just prepared a project, a poultry project, and total number of people working there hardly 10. Every day they used to, let's say, grow around 120 eggs, 100% technology supported, you can say, poultry farm. And they're generally earning in crores. Of course, there are some problems in the initially. Where are the problems? Problems were related to getting bank finance. The bank manager said, I need that the project should be written in this way. They are the IIT products. When they went for approach for banking finance, they went to a bank and the manager said, sir, you don't know how to write a project. Then he said, I'm an engineering graduate, we all have done from IITs, and we don't know how to write. No. Bank said it should be like this. You should do like this. So there are some procedural lapse. So when we talk of policy, the policy and implementation, there are a lot of gaps in that. I have experienced what sort of problem they have experienced, but still we can't live without going global. The recent development in a border with China, all of a sudden the patriotism developed. That's very good. See, we should have priority in which sector we should get import product from abroad, in which sector we should not. For example, you think about Coca-Cola, drinks, I don't want to take the name. For example, soft drink. Do you think they are better than our green coconut water? Better than lassi? But we spend lots of money on that. We are talking of KFC, chicken. Can't our local entrepreneur go for that sort of things? They can go for. Our children were playing Chinese toys. If Mr. Chandrasekhar have remembered, in our childhood days, we used to use local, let's say, local things, like a monkey jumping from a stick, local bamboo-made things, bamboo-made goggles. So these things are vanished. So in that way, what happens? The local artisans, local people lost their tradition, lost their earnings. All of a sudden, they went there. See, we have to blame our education policy. Our education policy, now we are thinking of another way. We just made some literate people. As a result of which, neither they were fit for agriculture, neither they became skilled labor, nor they become employable in the industries and other places. So massive just literacy mission that helped. So those who are wearing jean pant, t-shirt, they can't go to the agricultural field. And all of a sudden, there is jump in service sector and agricultural sector fall down. Industries are going to, let's say, collapse. So in this moment, you feel that both local, global, all these concepts are related to three issues. International business is governed by three issues. One is economic interdependence. Entire world is not blessed with equal and equitable amount of resources. So for certain things, we have to depend upon the outsiders. Second one is socio-cultural similarities. We may have a difference of opinion in the boundary, but there are cultural, economic similarities. So we have some sorts of sympathy with our local, nearby neighboring nations. The third is very important, which is governing the business. The equation of power and politics. Power and politics. See, 130 crores of population, they will eat, they will dress, they will use cosmetics, they will use bikes, they will use car, mobile phone, different apps. So everybody in the across the boundary, all the companies, they're eagerly waiting to these decisions taken by the government that this 130 crore population and maximum percent of youth means that is business. So you'll find most of the European countries, most of the, let's say, American universities, European universities, Australian universities are nowadays run by Indian students. Run by Indian students. Even this pandemic time, some of my friends' children, they have already gone to Sweden, Netherlands for higher studies. They're desperately waiting. And so they are dependent on many issues. In certain issues, we should think of that. But in certain issue, for example, like I said, consumer products, consumer durables, and let's say fruits, vegetables. Like says which consumer products are coming from abroad. Earlier, we had never taken olive oil, but now in apartments, housewives discuss, Acha, which oil do you take? Now we are taking mustard. Why you are taking mustard? We are using olive oil. So they feel proud that we are using olive oil. We don't produce that. See, dates from Dubai. Even Apple that comes wearing sweater, sitting in a tray, and charge around, let's say, 300 rupees, 400 rupees. And when you pay 300 rupees for, let's say, Apple, you even don't allow the chilka to go outside. You take everything because you're wearing a sweater and sitting in a tray. So most of the fruits, vegetables, spices, most of the things are nowadays coming from abroad. And we, Indian, those who have money, we feel very proud that we are using those products. So in those areas, we need to develop little bit of patriotism. We must support the local products. Regarding business, I am to say, local entrepreneurs, you ask any management graduates who are sitting there, how many of you will come to business? How many of you are entrepreneur? First question, they will ask from where will get money? There is not shortage of fund. The shortage is in the mindset. I was just going through a paper that out of 100 richest people in the world, only 27 people, out of 100 richest people in the world, only 27 people, they just hire the legacy. But their parents were rich, they became rich. 73 people are self-made. Self-made. And out of the 74, 18 people, they don't have a college degree even if. They don't have college degree. 36 out of them belongs to poor parents. So you'll find the story of rags to rich is a very common example. Common example. So when you are deprived of something, that will create brainstorming. That will create brainstorming. So those who are living in comfort, these generation people, we are if you have no problem, then you will not find any way to just reach at a destination. So super achievers are just not born, they are made. See, in different sectors, we have, particularly in Odisha, if I talk of Odisha, we can develop in, let's say, tourism sector, I'm saying. What not we have? 480 kilometers of coastal belt. We have got lakes. We have got mountains. We have got birds. So there is plenty of scopes for ecotourism. Foreigners, they want to see how the rural people go to the market. How do they plow? How a boy carries, let's say, hundreds of cows and go to the forest, and in the daytime, how he pass times. And again in the evening, how he comes exactly with 100 cows. They want to see that. So do you know, people from Kerala, they have started their business in Odisha. They are going to Koraput, they are going to Kandhamal, and they are inviting foreigners from abroad with a special package of ecotourism, travel tourism, and they have just made arrangement of tents, and the villagers, they used to just welcome them with a garland. They used to stay there. Next day morning, they used to that cowboy and see how the cowboys takes the cows and go to the forest, how he spends time, how he sits on the tree, how he takes his food sitting on the floor. They used to take the video in a camera and pay a good amount. So we have got them. Bird watching. Let's say people want to see how birds comes, how do they. So bird watching, cycling. So I have written a book on medical tourism. People are coming just for, let's say, Panchakarma, People are going to Kerala for health tourism sectors. We have also plenty of scope for that. The young entrepreneurs should come forward. The young managers, those who are watching these webinars, those who are part in the management degree, they must uh, identify those scopes. See, we have got 50 different handicraft items recognized by state governments. Most of the artisans, they are in trouble. Lots of schemes are there. Lots of schemes are protected by the government. But there is no problem in money. But the problem is that next generation, I have made a lot of research on that area. Next generation, those who are working in handloom sectors, artisans, I think there is sound problem. So, am I audible?
Yes, sir, completely
Yes, sir.
audible.
Yes, sir. Completely audible.
Sure. So I thought that's a problem. So in those who are the children of artisans, those who are children of handloom sector, hand weavers, they are not interested to come to this line. Recently, I have conducted around 50 marketing training programs for them in MICM. So what happens? They have got good artisans, they have got good skill, but they need marketing linkage for that. So I just told their children, so why you are not doing that? Through mobile phone, I just in a leadership development program, I just asked a very senior person that you are a very good, let's say, weaver, but can you operate mobile phone? He said, no, I don't touch mobile phone. But in that group, another young fellow was there. Then I, do you have mobile phone? Yes, sir, I have got. Can you take a photograph? No, yes, sir, I can take a photograph. You take the photograph of the old man. Then I thought, can you send this photograph to another person? No, yes, I can send. I asked the old man, can he send? No, yes, he can send it. Can he send it to another old man, the same photograph? No, yes, he can send. So think that your photograph is a sari design. And you can send the design to a promoter or somebody or buyer who is sitting abroad. Promote it. So in Barampur, I think they have started. Last year, they have done a business around of 15 to 20 lakhs business through mobile phone only. We are using social media. Just we are criticizing different policies, programs, but have we ever tried? We are the educated. Have we ever tried in Facebook or in WhatsApp just to promote the local shops, local, let's say, entrepreneurs? Recently, I came across in Facebook that there is a non-veg shop started in Chandrasekharpur, where you'll go and select your fish. You'll go to select the bird or chicken. You will select the goat, and you can buy that. So he has a very innovative way of selling non-veg items. But thing is that need to be promoted by us. So wherever we come across this type of thing, we must think. There are certain other issues like which is very much required in promoting the local people, that moral characteristics is very important. Where we lack, like the culture, the moral characteristics of our people. Second is the difference between degree and knowledge. We have got people who have got degree, but they're not employable. They're not employable. They don't have knowledge. There is no shortcut way for success. You ask Chandrasekhar sir, suppose he came to this level, there is no shortcut way. Now, if people want to have a shortcut way to get married, shortcut way to get the job, shortcut way to get everything, no, nothing can be happened. So those who are people who have become rich, those nations which are developed, they have never gone through this shortcut way. Then we all should be law-abiding people. Law-abiding. Government is making firming law. The first thing of any businessman, you ask how to avoid tax, how to avoid pollution law, how to avoid so and so law. So these are very important things, and always there should be a good attitude, and at the same time there should not be very narrow thinking. Narrow thinking. I was just listening a few days back why Indian universities are not above the top 100, top 200. The biggest you ask anybody, if I ask any one of them, how you have come up to this level? Now it is because of my father. It is because of my parents. You don't think about your teachers, you don't think about your school, you don't think about your neighbor, you don't think about the person who has made your school buildings. So what happens? We think we forget about them once we go. So the joy of giving, joy of giving. You have some brain, you have some knowledge, just share it with your people who are working in rural areas. Suppose I know marketing, I should support this. I know how to prepare accounts. I should support the local traders. So I know how to calculate tax. I must educate the local traders to do certain things. So by if you continue in that way, so the biggest thing is that whatever the Prime Minister has said, that is true. But the biggest thing is we have to change our mindset. We have to change our mindset. So it is a population of 134. We say young people think about coming 20 years. We'll have a time will come. We'll have the highest percentage of old people. Now you have to think about coming 30 years. We'll have the highest population old people in the world. So we have to think about many other issues being a nation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your patience. I must thank the directors, the principal madam sitting there, Madam Subramaniam, and all the other panel members and the paper presenters for making this session a very nice one. Thank you very much. So, Sabyasachi, I think
thank you very much. So it was a pleasure on behalf of Astha family to have Tushar sir and Chandrasekhar sir on the first technical session. It's always time actually flows whenever we listen to both of you, and I think it's only the constraint of time. Otherwise, we would have asked you a lot of questions. What are your thoughts? Because these are very issues which looks very simple, but they have multi-layered, you can say, issues which need to be addressed first to become actually global in terms of becoming really local. So thank you very much, sir. I think there has been a wonderful deliberation from 7 of the presenters, and there would questions from our chairperson and resource person. It has been a nice interaction between all of us. The first technical session was on general management and marketing topics, and we had a host of topics. So we are sure that the people, the participants, the listeners have learned a lot of things from this deliberation of technical session 1. From the core of my heart, from the entire Astha family, we thank Tushar sir and Chandrasekhar sir for giving the precious time to all of us. And we are sure that in coming time, we will have a session, physical session, where both of you will come and talk to our young students about what they can actually think of in the coming time.
Sabyasachi,
yes, sir.
I'd just like to add one thing. I'm so sorry to go out of
please,
it
sir,
with you,
please,
but
sir.
yeah. See, there is one thing that I would like to share with all the participants, that if you can reach out to me through Sabyasachi sir has my contact details. See, the most important thing in today's world is presentation. How you present what you are doing or what your work is. In fact, if you can do that well, even if the content is not so good, you will grow. You will benefit from that, right? So if you wish, you can always reach out to me, and I can give you pointers on how to make more effective presentations, because there are some very small things that you can do which can make your presentations much more interactive and much more interesting. So that is just what I wanted to share. So if anybody wants, I'm always ready. Please get in touch with me, and I will definitely try to do whatever.
So definitely we will share your email IDs of Tushar sir and yours with all the participants and the presenters. And we can organize a session giving inputs. And as this particular session is streamed live on YouTube also, sir, so we can have further sessions where you can talk about the presentation skills and how to be very specific with a few points and what idea you want to represent.
Definitely, I would be happy to be.
I would take a leaf from my MBA college time. It was told there in North India, like Delhi, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. So definitely,
Very true. Very
so
true.
definitely so very definitely presentation is a vital skill nowadays. So with the permission of chairperson and resource person, we will come to the end of technical session 1. It has been a pleasure for all of us to be with you, to learn so many things from the entire Asta family. Honorable Secretary, sir, I thank you for giving your valuable time to this technical session 1. And we are hopeful that in our coming time, we can do more meaningful sessions where you both can come and interact with people, take their questions and really help them out to understand and realize their vision, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
So
Thank you
with
so
this,
much.
we would end the technical session 1. We will rejoin tomorrow for our technical session 2. And in our agenda, the time has been mentioned. It is 10:20 is the joining time. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, all of the
Thank you.
participants and the presenters. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Gupta Power. Gupta Power stands an epitome of power. 59 years of travel since 1961, contributing to excellence and perfection. Gupta Power offers some revolutionary products like cables, conductor, EPC division, optical fibre, wire rods, LED lightings. We trade with lots of prestigious domestic and international clients who are satisfied with the quality and services. Gupta Power. Gupta Power. Gupta Power stands an epitome of power. 59 years of travel since 1961, contributing to excellence and perfection. Gupta Power offers some revolutionary products like cables, conductor, EPC division, optical fibre, wire rods, LED lightings. We trade with lots of prestigious domestic and international clients who are satisfied with the quality and services. Gupta Power.